Charles and I settled here in the booth. This should be a fun one. Madden Ultimate Team matchup as you get a look at some of the stars here of today's game. Let's get right to it. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. They'll run it for the first time with Williams. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. That one goes for 24 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike. Well, that run is exactly what you expect from someone of his stature. This is a big back, so you expect him to break some tackles and gain some additional yardage. And it pays dividends, not just for himself as the game goes on, but for his team. Because when he can break down defenses and allow that type of production to happen, it also opens up the passing game in a big way, because at some point, you got to start bringing extra defenders to the line of scrimmage to try and slow him down.
So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Back to throw. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
And this one is right down Broadway. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now a first down throw. Stafford drops it off to Ajayi. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 12. And that leads to a New York first down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
To throw is Stafford. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good pickup there at 22.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And now a first down following that long gain. Just beating the play clock. Stafford. He's going to look deep down the field. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Back to the air. Stafford on second down. Bringing it in. Jackson left side. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game. And he can break big plays like that. And we've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders. And Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Here's Stafford now on second down. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers. And on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on third. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. And the wideout in motion. They snap it to Stafford. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On second down, here's Stafford. Right side caught by Jackson. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. And New York set to take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Left side here to Sanders. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll come out in the pistol. Again, we'll see the pistol here. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And it'll bring up third down. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. Third and long, it's Stafford. Daniil Hunter with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And he's able to get it out of there. With it is Jackson. Touchdown, Giants. Deshaun Jackson, 58 yards. And the Giants have taken the lead. And we always talk about kick returns being so exciting on kickoffs. Punt return almost equally exciting.
And typically we talk about the kickoff return being the most exciting 10 seconds in football. Let's just cut it in half for a punt return and make it the most exciting 5 seconds in football. It's a great, glamorous, dashing play.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. To throw is Stafford. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 2nd down, Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 1st down, Stafford here. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Here we go with Williams. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 1st down, it's Stafford. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now a 1st down throw. Stafford throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. From the red zone now, Stafford. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So a field goal here. They're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole 2nd half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their... And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see.
It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for the Giants. 47 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
It's caught outright by Graham. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
This will be caught at about the 6. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Now they send a man in motion right. 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. They'll try to run with a J. And he is going to lose yardage here. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. So the Giants now are going to turn it over to their field goal unit. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
Out come the Rams. They'll have it first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
22. Big 20.
Play action. Stafford finding time. Eluding the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up the 1st down with a nice throw.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Sanders has it over the middle. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Back now in Jacksonville. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. So the D-line's going to spread out. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. Paul Krause, the safety, in on the tackle. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Andre Williams, a 15-yard touchdown run. And the Rams have taken the lead here in the fourth. And that makes it 14-10. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And that is incomplete. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. A gutsy call by Jack Del Rio, but it does not pay off. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run.
Now, hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Time is starting to run out, really becoming a factor. We'll see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back to the offense. Again, it's Williams. It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
Got a man. He finds Sanders. We are set, ready to rock for this Madden Ultimate Team matchup, and these guys on your screen ready to rock as well. Some of the stars of today's game, and speaking of the game, let's get right to it. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They come out here in the eye. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Big Stephen Paya there to get him down to the ground.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Flushed out right. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. On that point.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. On the counter, here's Williams. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14. 3rd down, still 14 yards left. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
An extra corner on the field for New England here on 3rd down.
Yeah, another DB. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the long-time Raider, Willie Brown. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. After the interception, here's Stafford. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's brought down. 12 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Patriots a 1st down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Now flags, and we're going to get a delay of game. Out of the gun, Stafford. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
First carry for Thomas Rawls. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But when it comes to the running game, the New England Patriots, they're one of the few teams in the NFL that I don't think care much about balancing things out.
Last year, to your point, 5th in passing yardage, number 30 in the run game.
What they want to do each and every week is make a game plan based on their opponent, not so much their own personnel, and they try to attack that way.
Red zone opportunity. First down, this is Rawls. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. On second down, here's Stafford. Looking for someone to throw to. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. From the gun on third down, Stafford. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Randall Cobb from 13 yards out. And the Pats able to cash in for 6. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field. And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it. The kicking unit out for the Patriots as they send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window? I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all. Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Left side here to Sanders. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Flush to his right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback. Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. 2nd and 10, Stafford again. He was trying to get it to his big running back, Andre Williams, and it's 3rd down. Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it. Now Stafford. He completes it to Jordy Nelson. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they? They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down. And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. 1:59 to go in the 1st half. Back to Foxborough after this. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Cooper, the man in motion left. Now it's Stafford. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage. Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. And this is caught by Jackson. It's a gain of 5, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like. Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
Well, they're certainly running the ball pretty well on this drive, and all I remember as a secondary guy was if you're making a lot of tackles in a game, that's usually not good for your defense. You've got to figure out how to keep things in front of you because you know there's three levels: defensive line, linebackers, and into the secondary.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Andre Williams taking it in from a yard out. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. Extra point attempt to follow here. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. So the Patriots coming out now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Back to throw, Stafford. He's going to air one out. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Randall Cobb with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Patriots are able to strike quickly for 6. And his kick is good. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Play action. Stafford. Right side caught by Jackson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Fresh set of downs here. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. In motion left moves Nelson. Now Stafford. And he is out of bounds just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Give him 16 on the pickup. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down. And now the offense operates in the red zone. Shift together here from the D-line. Stafford on first down. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Emmanuel Sanders in the final seconds of the first half. And the Jaguars move back within a couple of the lead. And they will line up now for the 2-point try. They'll run it with Williams. But he is not going to make it into the end zone. They stop him short, so they'll add only 6 as we come up on halftime. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
The final shot before the break, Stafford. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Brian Dawkins, the safety, with a pick. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there, for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Caught left side by Cobb. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
Over the middle here to Brown. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. And now they're in the hurry-up. Stafford eluding the pressure right. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try.
And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. Matthew Stafford taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of this?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And the offense moving quickly to the line. They run it again with Williams. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. They run. It's Williams. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Oh, man, a big play right there. It's 4th down, and you just need a yard to get it first. But he had his sights set on much more than that as he hits the hole hard and just breaks free into the next level.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And quickly, they get to the line. 2nd and goal from the 1. On the toss, here's Williams.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
From back at the 2, here's 3rd and goal. They'll run for it with Peterson. Call it a gain of 2 as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Foxborough. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Running for it, here's Peterson. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Adrian Peterson taking it in. And the Jaguars have cut it back within a score. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Stafford's going to try and throw for it. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And now off to the races, down the right side. 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Their big-bodied receiver taking it goal line to goal line, 100 yards. And the Patriots add on to their lead. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. On 1st down, Stafford here. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
That one goes for 24 yards. They're going to hurry back to the line now. On 1st down at Stafford. Right side caught by Jackson. And he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. And they're going to speed things up here. On 1st and 10, Stafford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Jordy Nelson, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars are back within a score. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. To return, this now Jacoby Jones. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
On 2nd down, Rawls. And some room to maneuver. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And the offense here just looking to stay in bounds, complete the short passes, and put this game on ice. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. He's going to get the football. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Throwing here, Stafford. Caught, left side, Bennett. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. To throw is Stafford. He's got his man complete. It's Tim Brown. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Back to the ground attack. It's Rawls. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough. Charles and Madden Ultimate Team matchup as we get a peek some of the stars in today's game. Well, will they be stars? Will you be a star? We'll find out. Let's play. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from Jacksonville. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. They come out here in the eye. A first carry now. This is Williams. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And when you're trying to set up a counter play, it's what a lot of people call an influence play. You're really hoping those defensive linemen are really agile that day. If they stayed out late the night before the game, they're not moving as fast, it's a lousy call because that means they're just going to sit in the hole that you hope to create just by the movement of your offensive line.
And there they got the ball to the outer third of the field, but tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, things get stacked up in there if they don't move as well as you want them to, and probably just trying to escape and couldn't get away.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. The Hall of Famer Ozzie Newsome, the intended receiver. And it brings up fourth down.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys. Because the offense guys always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Couple of Broncos there in on the tackle.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
6 yards to go here on second down. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Now Stafford. It's caught. Nelson. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd down following the run. Now a play fake it at Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Now it's Stafford. This will be caught inside the 10. A good pick up there of 20 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you at important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
Well, we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play, close things down inside. But that's the type of pass play that you need to wait for routes to develop. You need a little time in the pocket, but that's hard to do when you got people in your face.
Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. And he motions the wide receiver. Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Emmanuel Sanders. Now the extra point. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Man open left side, it's Williams. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Broncos.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Now a play fake. Bortles under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Michael Johnson in there to get him for a loss of 5.
And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
They'll go for it. It's Bortles. Being chased out left. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Antonio Brown, 27 yards. And the Broncos are an extra point away from taking the lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Shift together here from the D-line.
On first down, it's Stafford. Right side caught by Jackson. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A minute 57 to go in this first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. Second down and 4. Here's Stafford now on second down. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Flushed out right. And he slides to avoid the hit. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
On second down, here's Stafford. Escaping the pressure right. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Rams are going to jump back in front. So they're going to go for 2. Now a pitch out to Williams. And he will find the end zone here, and the lead moves up to 7. And I guess that makes up for the earlier missed 2-point try here to get him to 14.
Yeah, that aggressiveness, it reminds me a lot of when basketball first adopted the 3-point shot. And people were starting to realize that 3 for 2 was really starting to work for them. In this case now, maybe the 2 for 1 is coming into play in the NFL.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Bortles now on 1st down. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sam Madison. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
After the interception, here's Stafford. Left side here to Sanders. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Four yards remaining now on 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. Stafford on 3rd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And they're not able to convert on 4th down. And Denver getting set to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Third and 2, Stafford. It's caught. Nelson. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal.
Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation. On the break from inside to outside, he threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him.
And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Andre Williams taking it in. And the Rams use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Point after here coming up. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. A great down the numbers. There he goes. The 30. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And to give this time to the tailback. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Paul Posluszny, the linebacker, brings him down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On second down, here's Bortles. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
On third and long, it's Bortles. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped.
Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
They do go for it. It's Bortles. Steps away. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back to right around the 20. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis ready for this Madden Ultimate Team matchup as you get a peek at some of the big players in today's game, and you're a big player in today's game as well. Let's get the party started. The kicker, Graham Gano, set to put his foot into this one. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball...
And now we get a peek at some of the top players here for this Madden Ultimate Team matchup. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis ready to go in the booth. We hope you're ready to go at the controls. Let's play. The kicker, Graham Gano, set to put his foot into this one. And off we go from Jacksonville. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Right side caught by Jackson. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. A good, safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. Now a 1st down throw, Stafford, and it's incomplete. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Throwing is Stafford. Jackson's got it over the middle. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. He's got his target, the tight end Newsom. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down.
There's a good push to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit, but his teammates did.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Emmanuel Sanders, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Rams take it right down and score on the opening drive. It's up, it's good, and the Rams take a 7-0 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Now Thomas will come in motion right. Now a play fake here on first down. Over the middle, it's Thomas. That one goes for 24 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Zach Ertz, the man in motion. On second down, here's Wilson. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Michael Johnson in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Third and long, it's Wilson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's 4th down.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on 3rd down plays. But when you go for it on 4th down, sometimes you're actually just praying. And on that play, the prayer was answered.
Now Wilson on first down. Benjamin with it over the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And partner, a nice little connection there on the corner route.
The receiver set it up perfectly, worked his way inside, and then broke it back to the outside for the completion.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Michael Johnson in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. On second down, Wilson. Pass incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. This will be caught at the 2. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence.
And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Russell Wilson taking it in. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now out on the the field. Here comes Los Angeles. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. Shift together here from the D-line. To throw is Stafford. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to AP out of the backfield, and it's third down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. He dropped an 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. Back to the air. Stafford on second down. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
It's not just the offensive linemen and the guys charged with protecting him that take it personally. When the franchise quarterback is dropped on the ground, it runs through the whole organization from the owner all the way down.
It's like every single time he goes down, everyone holds their breath.
Not only do they hold their breath, but they feel the hit as well. They're just trying to think of ways for it not to happen again. It's been a struggle this entire game trying to move the ball on the ground. But every now and then you find a little chink in the armor, and that type of run right there lets them know that they can't stop every single run for almost no gain.
Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Henry, the lone man in the backfield. He'll get the football here. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at... And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So now at 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary. A nickel look. Now Wilson. And he connects with Ertz. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Wilson on second down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver, and that brings up 4th down.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
So they kick it through to take the lead. There is a little bit of time left, though, here in the second quarter.
And while they're concerned about not giving up a big return or giving up points themselves going into the half, how good do they feel, though, putting points on the board themselves right near the end of the first half?
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. On second down, it's Bell. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And with a play clock running low, Bill O'Brien's going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. He's got time. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Now, that was impressive by the defense. They just got hit for a big pass play, and instead of rushing out and getting back deep to cover, they played their techniques, saw the run develop, and ran to it and made the play.
On second down, here's Henry. Room here to run. And they finally bring him down, but he reaches the 16. It's a big run there by Henry. 52 yards. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They go play action here on first down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jordan Reed, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Wilson going to throw for it. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on the 2-point try. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
Tell me.
that's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Right side caught by Jackson. It's a pickup, and the Saints signal for another timeout. And that's going to leave them with just one timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Williams. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Dancing to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. 15 yards there on the scramble and a 1st down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On 1st down at Stafford. Buying time to his left. Oh, no, he lost the football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at it 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Thomas, the lone receiver, left. 2nd and 10 now, Wilson. He's going to take another shot here. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Brian Dawkins, the safety, with a pick. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And the offense moving quickly to the line. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Eluding the pressure right. And some room to roam now. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a first down, but a big gain to boot.
The play clock's running down. Throwing is Stafford. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go deep left side. He's got a man complete. That one goes for 36 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Back to the air. Stafford on second down. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And it's third down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. He's got his target, the tight end Newsome. A gain of 11 and a first down. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Play clock winding down. On first and 10, Stafford. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. Second down following the incompletion.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. From the left hash, this from 39. That is inches from the upright. It's no good. Wide to the left. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Wilson wants to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Third down, 15 yards still needed. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he'll get it up. And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. 4th down. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out? Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now Stafford. He's going to let it fly. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Rams have got this back to a 1-score game. And it's good. It cuts it to 2. 16-14 our score. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. So down only 2 now. Still a chance to finagle their way into field goal range if they can get this onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though. Now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
A first down carry for Henry. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Old school defensive tackle play dictated just stood up and danced with the guy in front of you. And if a guy came near, tackle him. New school, you don't want to just dance. You want to get past him, get upfield, and make the play in the backfield. A big-time play there.
He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And it's 4th down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big times.
And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Surveying the field. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Back to throw. Got him in. He finds Sanders. A good pickup there, a 22.
Partner, I always loved it when Coach Madden used to talk about the phrase, take what the defense gives you. Well, if you need 6 and they only give you 4, that doesn't help you. In this situation, they're giving you the middle of the field, but you need the sidelines. You have to know when to break the rules.
Ten yards still left on second down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll look to throw. Left side here to Sanders. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
And his kick is indeed good. And with that, they have taken the lead by a point here in the 4th. Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to share a booth with you. I have to say, I am impressed at your discipline because you came here and you said you were not going to eat any of the media buffet. You made it to the end. You didn't consume a single calorie.
I appreciate that. What you missed is me going to the concession stand outside of your eyesight and getting it done that way. Look, I mean, they were serving the good stuff. I had to do it.
Oh, man, but you're svelte, in good shape, but you cheated a little bit. We'll let it slide.
I appreciate that. Always a pleasure to work with you.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we sign off from Jacksonville.